Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to another edition of Movie Goodness, where we examine life through cinema here on the KB Radio Network. I am your host, Kevin Reed, and Oscar season is officially over. This past weekend on March the 12th, we had the 95th Academy Awards held in Los Angeles, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel, and the winners are in. And we have not too many surprises this year. It pretty much went according to plan. There was one category that I was kind of bummed out about. I'm not mad, just a little bummed out by who took away the trophy. But not to say that that individual didn't deserve the Academy Award. I just felt somebody else deserved it a little more, but that's just me. Now, this show, I didn't watch the whole Academy Awards, full disclosure. I know all the results. I went back and watched it, but for about an hour, maybe 2 hours actually, I was deeply immersed in The Last of Us over on HBO. I had to watch the season finale. And so I, I didn't watch I guess you could say the middle portion, and then I had to do a review and so on and so forth, edited and all this here. So my attention wasn't on the actual awards until after. And so once I finished up, went back, got the results and of everybody who won. In that portion of the show, really wasn't nothing popping. And so I didn't miss anything. Maybe a few performances. I know Rihanna performed, Lady Gaga performed that I missed, and that's about it. The awards in the middle, I didn't really too much care about, but this Oscar show was pretty basic. It was I guess you could say return to form of past Academy Awards shows. Um, by the way, today we are reviewing the film, and we're reviewing the film that I didn't realize I didn't review when it came out. And it is, of course, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I've seen a few times since I initially saw it the beginning of last year, probably a year ago today, maybe. It was the first time I watched it. And yeah, but we'll get to it when we get to the review. But before we get to the review, we're gonna go over all the winners of the night. Uh, really not gonna break down too many. There are a couple of categories I do want to discuss a little bit. Um, I want to break down what I initially thought was gonna win and what actually won. So we'll go through that. Since I didn't do a prediction show, I had recorded a prediction show. I was ready to release the prediction show, but life got in the way and I didn't get around to doing it. So this go around, we're just going to do both of them at once. Predictions and results. And no, I'm not going to be cheating. I'm going to give my honest action. Actually, when we go through the categories, you're going to tell I'm not cheating. Like, oh yeah, he picked that because he knew it won. No, because I did get surprised in a couple of categories, major categories to tell the truth. So, but with that being said, even with the ones that surprised me or went in another direction, I wasn't mad at it, except for one. And I'm pretty sure if you know who all won and what movies took home trophies and whatnot, you probably know which one I'm talking about. There's only one, and I'm still scratching my head over it. But speaking of the show, before we get into the winners, uh, the show was all right. You know, it didn't have a lot of drama. As I said when I opened the show, it wasn't like the last couple of years. It looked like a return to form in the Oscar festivities, I guess you could say. You know, pretty average. It actually, the show wasn't as long as it normally is. Normally the show goes off from close around 11 something, but it didn't go off that late. You know, it moved pretty swiftly, and I appreciated that to the highest degree. So it was good. We did get a joke, a little sly joke about last year, Jimmy Kimmel, and I actually liked the joke. Uh, of course, about the infamous slap heard around the world, where he says, if anything violent happens tonight during the show, just do what you did last year. Nothing. Nothing. Just sit there. And that always bothered me from last year. Nobody did nothing when this man hopped on stage and slapped another man. It was amazing. But in any event, yes. Let's get into these nominations and categories. Let's start off with best visual effects. This is achievement in visual effects in film, and we had a lot of good nominees here. And the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Batman, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and Top Gun: Maverick. Your winner for best visual effects went to Avatar: The Way of Water. That's pretty much a no-brainer because that was just one big visual effect. The whole movie was visual effects, so obviously that took home the trophy. That was my pick to win best visual effects. Felt that was a pretty much a layup. That was a pretty easy one. Let's move over to best film editing. And your nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Top Gun Maverick. And your winner for best film editing went to Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was a kind of a shocker. To be honest with you, I thought it would probably be Elvis, and obviously I was wrong. But I thought it was going to be Elvis. Everything Everywhere All at Once did have some impressive editing, so I'm not mad at it. Moving over to best costume design. Your nominees are Babylon, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. And your winner for best costume design went to Ruth E. Carter for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Ruth E. Carter, this is her second Academy Award. She won her first one for costume design for, you guessed it, Black Panther. So she won both of her Academy Awards for both Black Panther films. And Ruth E. Carter is the first Black woman to win two Academy Awards in their career, life, whatever. No woman, no Black woman has ever won more than one. And to put that in perspective, not too many Black women have won one. So that is equally as impressive. So congratulations to Ruth E. Carter, best costume design for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Best cinematography. Now this one, I will say, this one I'm kind of upset with because a film that I felt should have been nominated didn't get nominated, and that was The Batman. The Batman had some beautiful cinematography in that film. I mean, it looked awesome, and it wasn't even nominated. Even one of the nominees said that film should have been nominated. Roger Deakins, who is a mainstay in in cinematography in Hollywood. So that says a lot. But here are your nominees, and that's not to poo poo on any of these nominees. I'm just feel that was left out. I'm pretty sure all these had great cinematography. I didn't see all of these films. I've yet to see Tar. Uh, even though it did look gorgeous with the trailer that I saw. I plan to watch it soon because I see it now on one of these streaming services, so I'm gonna check it out. But here are the nominees for best cinematography. We have All Quiet on the Western Front, Bardot, Elvis, Empire of Light, and Tar. Your winner for best cinematography in a motion picture goes to James Friend for All Quiet on the Western Front. Really good, good. It actually had some great cinematography there, so I'm not mad at it. I just felt that the Batman maybe should have got a little more consideration there, but I'm not mad at the pick. That is a beautifully shot film. Moving over to best makeup and hairstyling. In this category, the nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, The Batman, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Elvis, and The Whale. Your winner for best makeup and hair styling goes to The Whale. I can't get mad at that. My pick was The Batman. And you hear me mention the Batman a lot, and I know a lot of people who know me know that I'm a Batman fanatic, and that's probably why I'm picking it. No, the reason I picked the Batman for this category was the makeup on Colin Farrell in that film. If nobody told you that was Colin Farrell or read his name in the credits, you wouldn't have known. That's how seamless that makeup was as he portrayed Oswald Cobblepot. I mean, just great visual, makeup effects there. So I was really impressed. But at the same time, you got to look at Brandon Fraser with in The Whale, and like, well, yeah, can't argue with that too much. I agree with that. It was a tough one, but I do agree. The Whale, best makeup and hair styling. Moving over to best sound. The best sound in a motion picture. Your nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, The Batman, Elvis, and Top Gun Maverick. I've seen 4 of these films in the theater. One was on Netflix, and that was All Quiet on the Western Front. So I got a better experience as far as the sound with 4 out of the 5. And the one that really did impress me, quite honestly, is the one that won. This is the one I picked to win, and I'm happy that I finally got a win here. And the winner for best sound went to Top Gun Maverick. That was when they were in those jets going through the mountains in that climactic scene. Even in the scenes when they were practicing, it was. I love the sound, man. You felt it in the theater. I mean, oh my God, I can still imagine it. My surround sound now, I've watched it a couple of times at home, and it still rumbles here in the house. And all of them had some great sound. I loved Elvis. Elvis sounded real good in the theater. And I wish they would have released All Quiet on the Western Front in the theaters, but unfortunately it was on Netflix. Still had some good sound with the surround sound. But yeah, Top Gun Maverick, it deserved it, and it did win. Best production design. Your nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, Babylon, Elvis, and The Fabelmans. My prediction was Elvis. I was wrong. The winner for Best Production Design, All Quiet on the Western Front. All Quiet on the Western Front at this point in the show was starting to look like it might take Best Picture. It was really starting to rack up some awards. Shockingly, and man, you had to sit back and like, oh my God, is this going to be the upset of the year? We shall see. Moving over to Best Original Score. Your nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Babylon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and The Fabelmans. And once again, your winner, All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm telling you, man, this movie was racking up. Um, it won a lot of awards. We'll do the tally at the end, but there were a lot of shock faces in the audience when when they started racking up. Uh, because this is a German film. This is not even an American studio made this film. This was a German film. All right. Best original song. Now this one is interesting. This one is interesting because it's a shock, but it's not really. Your nominees are Applause from the film Tell It Like a Woman, Hold My Hand from the film Top Gun Maverick, Lift Me Up from the film Black Panther Wakanda Forever, This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Natu from RRR. Your winner for Best Original Song goes to Natu from RRR. This wasn't a shock, but it was a feel good type thing. It look, it's a bop. Don't get me wrong. If you watched RRR, I think it was on Netflix. It's probably still on Netflix. Um, it's a Bollywood film, but it's a real good Bollywood film. And I say that like I've seen many Bollywood films, but it was a real good film. And the little dance sequence they had there with Natu was epic. Uh, it was epic, and I loved it. And I was happy that it did win for best original song. I was, um, my pick was "This Is a Life." I'm sorry, not "This Is Life." "Hold My Hand" by Lady Gaga. I thought that was going to get it for Top Gun Maverick, but hey man, I'm happy to be wrong in that category. All right, moving over to best animated feature film. We have your nominees are Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, Michelle Deshelle with Shoes On, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Sea Beast, and Turning Red. This should be no shock. This was my pick, and it ended up being the winner. The winner for best animated feature film, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. This this warmed my heart that it won. This is another win for Guillermo del Toro. He won a few years ago for The Shape of Water, so this is his second Academy Award. But this animated film was stop motion animation, and I haven't seen stop motion in so long. And to see it done so well and tell this particular story in the way that it told it was amazing. Um, I loved the way they told the Pinocchio story. It was different because we've seen Pinocchio's story a million and one times. This was like the second Pinocchio movie that came out last year, and it was clearly the best. But it was probably the best Pinocchio movie ever, if you want to be honest with you. That includes the Disney animated film from buku years ago. I know that's probably blasphemous for a lot of people, but I'm telling you, if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. Check it out. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, winner of Best Animated Feature Film. Best International Feature Film. Your nominees are Argentina, 1985, from Argentina, of course. All Quiet on the Western Front, from Germany. Close, from Belgium. EO, from Poland. The Quiet Girl, from Ireland. The winner, which shouldn't be a shock, All Quiet on the Western Front, from Germany. At this point, when they won that, I figured, well, it's not going to win Best Picture. It got his Best Picture right there in so many words. Uh, Moving over to our screenwriting awards. Best Original Screenplay. Your nominees are The Banshees of Inisherin, The Fablemans, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Tar, and Triangle of Sadness. My pick and the Academy's pick for Best Original Screenplay goes to Everything Everywhere All at Once. Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that at all. Best adapted screenplay. Your nominees are All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, Living, Top Gun Maverick, and Women Talking. Your winner for Best Adapted Screenplay goes to Women Talking. I didn't see this movie, so I didn't pick this category. So congratulations to Sarah Polly for winning this award. Moving on to our acting categories. Here we go. Uh, Starting with Best Supporting Actor in a Feature Film. You have Brandon Gleeson, Brian Tyree Henry, Judd Hirsch, Kiwi Kwan, and Barry Keegan. Your winner for Best Supporting Actor in a Feature Film. And I'm tearing up about to say it. Kiwi Kwan. Yes, man. Short Round himself. Data himself. Man, that just warms my heart. I look, this is a actor who I basically grew up watching. You know, this he was Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. He was Data in The Goonies, the two of my favorite movies when I was younger. And I watched those movies over and over and over and over again. So Kiwi Kwan is like, he's like my boy, man. You know, when I was younger, I know him, I know his work, and I enjoyed him so much. And then all of a sudden, it was just no more Kiwi Kwan. It was like, what happened to him? Did he pass away or something? You know, it's like he just disappeared. And to hear his story of how he couldn't get cast, how he almost retired. Well, actually, he did. He retired. He was working as a production assistant for a while. He was a stunt coordinator. Fun fact: he was the stunt coordinator on X-Men from the year 2000. He was the stunt coordinator. He couldn't get work as an actor, and his dream was to be an actor. His lifelong dream. He had little bit parts here and there, but nothing major where people would remember him or know him from. And he was ready to give up on his dream. And everything and everywhere all at once came, and he got cast. They gave him an opportunity, and the next thing you know, he won an Oscar. And man, you want to talk about inspirational. And his speech, I mean, his speech, if his speech don't touch you, something is seriously wrong with you. You really need to do some soul searching. I mean, genuine, uh, just out of the heart. It was beautiful, and I'm so happy for Kiwi Kwan, and it was well deserved. It wasn't just let me give this to him because it's a feel good story. I mean, because his story is like a Hollywood movie, you know. It's the true Hollywood underdog story, but it was his life, and here it is. Boom, he actually did it, and he had a awesome performance in this film. All the other actors, he is the one I picked to win. My dark horse to win it would have been Brandon Gleeson for the Banshees of Inisherin, but it was Kiwi Khan's award to lose it, but he did not lose it, thank God. Moving over to Best Supporting Actress, and this is where my rant comes in. uh, your nominees for Best Supporting Actress in a Feature Film: Angela Bassett for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Hung Chung for The Well, Carrie Condon for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Stephanie Hughes for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Your winner for Best Supporting Actress goes to Jamie Lee Curtis. Let me start off by saying congratulations. Congratulations to Jamie Lee Curtis. long overdue for this storied career that Jamie Lee Curtis has forged for herself, and for a pretty good performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once. My pick was Angela Bassett, and that pick should have been the winner. And I'm look, I know that it's all subjective. People look at things differently. People feel differently. But you cannot tell me that Angela Bassett's performance. They look. They're gonna put that movie in film class for actors class to study what Angela Bassett did in that movie. Powerful, man. Powerful. Say what you want about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I had my issues with it. Definitely didn't live up to the original, but it was all right. But the one shining light, well, there were a couple of shining lights, but the biggest shining light on Black Panther Wakanda Forever was Angela Bassett's portrayal of Queen Ramonda. Uh, my God, this one scene, just this one scene, when she was on the throne and she was going off on a Corey after Shuri was kidnapped by Namor. That scene when she just unleashed, she was dignified the whole movie. She was being a queen, but at that moment, she just unleashed as a mother, as the queen of Wakanda, as a mother, as a wife to her husband who passed away. All this stuff that she had kept inside just came out. The betrayal that she felt from Okore from the previous film, when Okore chose the throne over protecting her and her family. All that came out and she nailed it. And it's not just that scene, the whole movie was like that with her. The dignified presence of her as a queen. It was just perfect. And I just cannot wrap my head around why she didn't win this award. No disrespect to Jamie Lee Curtis. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. And she should have been one. To be honest with you, I didn't realize this was her first time being nominated. That's crazy to me. Because Jamie Lee Curtis has put out some amazing work in her career. And so the fact that this was her first nomination blows my mind. But she did good, but she wasn't even the best one in that movie in this category. Stephanie Hughes had a better chance to win than her, I felt, because she was like the co-lead in my mind, and I thought she did amazing in this movie. But it just hurts me. It hurts me to that I have to do this and kind of poo-poo on Jamie Lee Curtis. Because it's not her fault. It's not like she went up there and just stole it, ripped it out of Angela Bassett's hands. It's not Jamie Lee Curtis's fault. So I'm not going at her. I'm going at the Academy. They got it wrong. They got it wrong, man. This is the only one I felt like it was wrong. Yeah, I had some picks that didn't go as I planned it or how I thought it would go, but none I can argue. None I can sit there and say, well, no, they got that wrong because Top Gun Maverick had better visual effects than Avatar. That's a stupid argument. There's no way I can make that argument. But I can make this one. I can justify what I'm talking about in this one. And if you've seen the movie, I'm pretty sure you feel the same way. Like I said, no disrespect to Jamie Lee Curtis, and I know it's coming off as that like that, and I apologize to her because once again, I love her, and it was a good performance. Was it Academy Award nominated worthy? Yes, she should have been nominated. I agree with that, but I just don't agree with the win. That's my only thing. But what's done is done. congratulations to Jamie Lee Curtis. Uh, I saw a lot of backlash online during the awards. Like you look on Twitter, they showed Angela Bassett when it was announced, and her face was like just devastated, mad, and people were going at her, online, like, oh, she's not showing uh uh respect to Jamie Lee Curtis. No, the woman wanted to win. It's competitive. It's like a game. It's like playing any sport. You want to win. Who wants to go just to go? If you go to these things, if you're nominated to win. So I'm pretty sure she was devastated and hurt. But it ain't like she walked out. She stayed for the whole show. I probably would have walked out. Eddie Murphy did it when he was nominated for Dreamgirls. He left to when he lost. And I don't blame him. Why would I stay? What would I stay for? But anyway, like I said, congratulations, Jamie Lee Curtis, winner of Best Supporting Actress, even though it doesn't sound like I'm congratulatory towards her. All right, moving on to Best Actor in a Motion Picture. This was probably the toughest category out of all of them. And I mean, because all of them, you can sit back and say, yep, yep, yep. Now, two of them I didn't see out of these five. I saw three out of the five. Two of them I didn't see. But out of the three that I did see, it was tough to pick between those three. And one of the ones that I didn't see, one of those actors I know is awesome. So I can just imagine. But this was a tough one. Your nominees for Best Actor in a Motion Picture are Austin Butler for Elvis, Colin Farrell for The Banshees of Inisherin, Brandon Fraser for The Whale, Paul Mescal for After Sun, and Bill Nighy for Living. Your winner for Best Actor in a Motion Picture goes to Brendan Fraser for The Whale. This was tough, man. And Brendan Fraser gave the performance of his career. Yes, he did. It would. There's no arguing this. There's no arguing this. Actually, you could have flipped a coin and not got mad. You could. Austin Butler had an amazing performance as Elvis. Awesome performance as Elvis. I remember when I went to the theater to see it, and I walked out immediately. I said, yeah, he's going to win. This before all these other films came out. So, but at that point, I was like, man, he is amazing. He was Elvis. He channeled Elvis, and he deserved this nomination. Colin Farrell gave the best performance of his career, and that's saying a lot because Colin Farrell is awesome. So you could have flipped the coin with any of these actors. I'm pretty sure the other two were awesome. Bill Nighy, he's awesome in everything. So congratulations, Brandon Fraser for The Whale. Another fun fact, Brandon Fraser and Kiwi Kwan, who won Best Supporting Actor, starred together in a film, I think in the 90s, called Encino Man. So out of that movie, you have two Academy Award winners. Ain't that Encino Man with Pauly Shore? I guess Pauly Shore gonna win next year. Anyways, moving over to Best Actress. Yeah, another good one here. Your nominees are Ana de Armas for Blonde, Kate Blanchett for Tar, Andrea Riseborough for To Leslie, Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans. Your winner for Best Actress in a Motion Picture goes to, you guessed it, people, Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Thank God for that. Oh, I didn't say what my prediction was for Best Actor. My prediction was Colin Farrell, so I missed that one. But for Best Actress, yes, I picked Michelle Yeoh. Amazing career-defining performance. Glad that she won. We all know about the Andrea Riseborough fiasco, with her nomination. Yeah, so I'm glad that they avoided that disaster had she won. Because if she would have won, I think people would have rioted in the streets. But thank God that it went to who truly deserved it. Honestly, Michelle Yao. Uh, good deal. Good deal. It brought tears to my eyes. Me and my wife were both like sniffing when she walked on stage. Love that woman. Best director. Uh for best director, we have the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Can't get it out. Martin McDowell for The Banshees of Inisherin. Steven Spielberg for The Fablemans. Todd Field for Tar, and Ruben Ostlund for Triangle of Sadness. Your winner for Best Director, or should I say directors, the Daniels for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Hey, bro, look, great job by them fellas. Great job. They did an awesome job. You realize they beat Steven Spielberg, who directed a film about Steven Spielberg. That's how awesome of a job they did. Man, I'm happy that they took home the trophy for best directors. All right, our final award, and it is of course best picture. This year we had 10, count them, 10 best picture nominees. Starting off, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Elvis, The Fablemans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Your winner for Best Picture, no brainer, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Oh man, this is the little movie that could. This is the this is the film that just came out of nowhere last year and just blew everybody's mind. It was just that great of a film and truly deserved every award that it received, which was a grand total of 7, which was the most of the night. Uh, All Quiet on the Western Front came in second with 4 Oscars. The Whale came in third with 2 Oscars. Uh, the shocking part of the night is that we had 4 shutouts that I did not think were going to be shut out. The Banshees of Inisherin had 9 nominations. It won none. Elvis had 8 nominations. It won 0. The Fablemans had 7 nominations. 0 wins. Tar had 6 nominations. 0 wins. Everything Everywhere All at Once is the first science fiction film to win Best Picture, believe it or not. It is the first sci-fi film to win Best Picture. All these years. All these years. 95 years to be exact. Everything Everywhere All at Once tied the record for most acting wins in a single film with 3. That ties A Streetcar Named Desire and Network. Uh, Michelle Yao is the first Asian woman to win Best Actress and the second woman of color to win for Best Actress. Kiwi Kwan became the second Asian man to win Best Supporting Actor. This is the second A21 film. That is the studio that produced Everything Everywhere All at Once to win Best Picture. The first one was Moonlight, I'm sorry, which I don't think should have won that year, but that's neither here nor there. And I think this is the perfect time to segue into our review this week. And our review is, of course, the 7-time Oscar winning film, including Best Picture of this year's Academy Awards, the science fiction comedy film Everything Everywhere All at Once. This is the first time I can walk away from watching the Academy Awards and say, yep, There's no doubt, zero doubts. It was up against 10 other films, and neither one of them, neither one of them, I felt had a snowball's chance to beat Everything Everywhere All at Once. It was just an amazing experience to watch this movie because it was more than what I expected when I went to go see it. Well, I saw it at home. I didn't go to the theaters to see it. I missed out. But man, you want to talk about just a good time, and it was perfect because I watched it with my family, and it is initially a family film. It's about a family at its core. It's so much going on. It's so wacky and wild and original, and that's the big selling point to me. It's original. A lot of people complain about there's no original films coming out. There's not even on television. Everything is reboots and remakes, sequels, and comic book movies, and all this here. It is all the same thing. People are tired of it. So when you have original ideas and original stories to come out, we need to support that. We need to look at that. Sometimes it's a hit and miss. Some originality is not good, but when it's executed perfectly, you have to give it its flowers, and it is definitely getting its flowers here. Everything Everywhere All at Once is so original. I have never seen a movie like this. Last year, 2022, you had a couple of multiverse movies to come out. You had Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Well, it really doesn't count as last year, but it came out at the end of 2021. You had Spider-Man No Way Home, which dealt with the multiverse. And you had this film. Now, you can argue Spider-Man is probably the best multiverse film, but this was the best out of the multiverse films. Had you bet me that what would be the best multiverse film to come out of last year, there's no way I would have said Everything and Everywhere All at Once, but it was. It truly was. It dealt with the multiverse in such a unique way. The premise of it, in case you've never seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, and please get from under that rock you're living under and watch this movie. It follows Evelyn Wan, who is portrayed by Michelle Yao, or I'm sorry, I said her name wrong. Academy Award winner Michelle Yao, a Chinese American immigrant who must connect with parallel universe versions of herself to prevent a powerful being from destroying the multiverse. This film took a genre and turned it on its head. It had so much going. It was a surreal comedy. It was a science fiction film, a fantasy film. It was a martial arts film. It even had animation in the film. It was so much. It took every genre and mashed it together in this multiversal, mad, just, I don't know, acid induced fever dream. And it worked. It's something like, okay, you sit down and start watching it, and I would say like the first 20, 30 minutes in it, you're like, what is this? You're like, what am I watching? And then when it really started going crazy, you're like, what is this? What am I watching? And at the end, you're so connected to these characters. You're so invested in this story. It all makes sense, and you have so much going on. You're going phasing in and out of these universes, but you stay rooted in the core. And it was perfectly made. The Daniels who wrote and directed this film, I don't know, man. I don't know who they made a deal with, but they owe them. They owe them big time. Uh, Along with Oscar winner Michelle Yao, starring in this film, you have Oscar winner Kiwi Kwan, Oscar winner Jamie Lee Curtis, Jenny Slate, uh, Oscar nominee Stephanie Hughes, uh, Henry Shum Jr., James Hong. It it was just a absurd, crazy ride that also touches in on the Asian American family, generational trauma, deals with depression. It deals with some serious subject matter as well, and it's handled with care. And even though this is based on this Asian American family, I don't care if you're black, you're white, you're Hispanic, whatever your nationality is, you can identify with this family. And this truly warms my heart because it makes you really sit back and think, if you're a type of person who thinks that this group of people are different from me, or this class of people are different from me, it makes you look at it in a way to where we're all the same, man. I don't care what side of the planet you lived on or you was born on, we're all the same. We're all human beings. We all deal with the same day-to-day foolishness that that me, you, and everybody else deal with. And that's amazing to me. And it's not amazing to me. I know this, but it's good to see this. You know what I'm saying? And it's just an eye opener, and it's great. It is so great to finally see a film where the Asian American community can wrap their arms around, because they don't get representation like that, like this. And to be honest with you, not too many other groups do. The uh, 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 black people, we just now starting to get a little taste of representation. It's still a struggle, obviously, but it is hard, especially for the Asian Americans. I think the closest thing you can uh look at is possibly uh what is it, Crazy Rich Asians, that came out a couple of years ago. It was a pretty big hit. um and that was the movie. I wanted to say this when I was talking about Kiwi Kwan. He said when he saw Crazy Rich Asians, that gave him hope, and that was the movie that drove him to keep fighting in his acting career, and that drove him right to this film. And so that's how important representation is. Because if it wasn't for that film, Kiwi Kwan wouldn't have had that boost to seek out the Daniels, or whoever it was, his agent, whoever, to get him in contact with the people to get him cast in this movie. So that's what I'm talking about. That's why representation matters. Uh Michelle Yeoh in this film, she deserved every award that she won this award season, including the Oscar, because we got to see every aspect of her acting, as well as Kiwi Kwan, Stephanie Hughes, and Jamie Lee Curtis, all of them who had different versions of themselves in this parallel universe. Every universe had a different version of themselves, and uh, Michelle Yeoh, we got to see every aspect of her talent, every single aspect, and it and she nailed every single one. And it was so beautiful to watch, so beautiful to watch. And with all the craziness going on, Michelle Yeoh was the anchor of this film. And if you didn't believe her performance, if you didn't believe or get invested in her character, the film would have fell apart. That's how important she was to this film, and she did an excellent job, as you can tell, as you can tell with this award season. Stephanie Hughes, who, despite the fact she was nominated for an Academy Award for her performance, I don't think is getting the love that she truly deserves. because she was more of the co-lead than a supporting character in my eyes, and she had so much to do in this film. I first discovered her when I watched the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel on Prime Video, which is a really good show, and she's on it, and that was my first time ever seeing her in anything, and I was like, man, she is really talented, man, really funny, everything. I mean, she is really talented. I picked that up real quick, and in this film, we got to see different versions of us of herself and how she um can phase in and out of this depression or this craziness or the comedy and the drama and all of this. They had to do all of this and fit this into this film and make it make sense. And they do such an excellent job. I really don't know how to describe this movie because, like I said, it goes everywhere all at once. Is no pun intended, but it goes everywhere, and at the end, it all connects. And I really, really, really employ anyone who has not seen everything everywhere all at once to please seek it out. Watch this movie. It is amazing. It is truly amazing. One of the best films I've seen in forever. To be honest with you, is one of the best films I've seen because of its originality. And I gotta, I mean, it's a no brainer, of course. Everything everywhere all at once gets a letter grade of the prestigious A plus. Perfect movie. You will laugh, you will cry, you will jump out of your seats. Everything. Everything is in this movie. It is amply titled. It is perfect. Uh Initially, Kiwi Kwan was not the first choice to play Wayman. That was actually written for Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan was initially approached to star in this film, but when he uh, didn't do it, that's when they turned to Kiwi Kwan and they actually changed the script to have Michelle Yao's character be the focal point. Because initially, when Jackie Chan was being approached, he was the focal point. So it all worked out perfectly, man. It all worked out perfectly in that way. It would have been interesting to see what would have happened with Jackie Chan had he starred in it. Maybe he would have been sweeping the awards. I don't know. I don't know. But hey, maybe in a different universe we could see that. Yes, man. Everything, everywhere, all at once deserved every single award it got. Even Jamie Lee Curtis, man. As much as I'm upset that Angela Bassett didn't win for Best Supporting Actress, uh, and I still feel she should have won. At the same token, I can't get mad at Jamie Lee Curtis, because she did give a career-defining performance. It was a different role for her. It was a different role for all of them. This is a different film. It's truly, and it's nothing. It's no way you can compare it to another film. It sets itself apart from the rest of the pack. Truly a different film. Truly a well-made film. Great film. Highly recommended. Everybody, did you make any predictions for the Academy Awards? Did all of your predictions come to fruition, or were you disappointed? How do you feel about the Angela Bassett uh snubbing, I guess? Do you feel she was snubbed, or do you think the right person won? What about the Woman King? The fact that the Woman King didn't get any nominations, not one, zip, zero. How do you feel about that? I'm a little upset about that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not happy about that. But hey, no point crying over spilled milk. It still wouldn't have beat everything everywhere all at once anyway, but it would have been nice to be nominated. Let me know. Email the show, kbradiopodcast@gmail.com. You can also look me up on Twitter at KB Radio Network and on other social media platforms. Just look up the KB Radio Network. Don't forget, everybody, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, don't forget about the 5 stars, the reviews, sharing this show, and subscribing to the YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate you tuning in this week as we went over the 95th Academy Award winners and the review of the Best Picture from said Academy Awards. Everything, everywhere, all at once. Can't wait to speak to you again. Until then, I want you all to know that I love you. Continue to love one another. And until we speak again, you all be blessed.